Ladies and gentlemen, my darling's distractions.
Life finds a way.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to my darling's distractions. My name is Luke, and I'm joined, as always, by my lovely wife, Deb. Hi, Deb.
Hi, Luke. Hi, everyone.
Hey, we are trying to fill our Memorial Day weekend full of fun activities. We just got done with a 8 p.m. Walmart run, which I guess now that I say it doesn't sound late, but it felt late. We were there, and it's just not the normal time I'm used to being at Walmart. You see a different crowd.
Yeah, it's not typical, but it's summer. Okay, we're
That's
summer
true.
ready.
That's right. Because
summer approved.
That's right. We are into summer now because Deb, you're done with school.
Done.
Yeah, done with school in multiple ways. Not only have you finished the school year as teaching third grade, you've also finished the school year as a master.
Master Deb.
As Master Deb. We were just talking yesterday. You need to refer to you as Master Deb now because Deb has received her master's degree.
Yes, I finished at Northwest Missouri State in April and just finished up at our school in third grade like 3 days ago. Mm-hmm. So right after I finished my master's, we hit the ground running with many busy schedules for multiple people. So it really didn't feel, I don't know,
like
it just felt like we didn't have time to even celebrate. We hit the ground running, but it was, I'm really happy to be done.
Yes, you're happy to be done. So along those lines, today's episode is going to be about the idea of college.
Forward to this.
Yeah, it should be good. So I have a couple of questions and then a quiz for you, Deb. So first I want to start with some questions about your undergraduate college experience.
Such a good experience.
Yes. So real quick, where did you do your undergraduate education?
I attended the University of Northern Iowa.
Nailed it. Got it. Yes. So what would be one of your favorite memories or a standout memory from your time as a Panther with the University of Northern Iowa?
Yeah, so that's in Cedar Falls, Iowa, and I got a BA in elementary education with a reading emphasis.
Okay.
I don't know if it would be considered a minor.
Yeah, I don't even know if they have that anymore.
But I realized when I was taking my classes that it really wouldn't cost me that much more time or money to just get this emphasis in reading.
Because you still did it all in 4 years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. With maybe some summer classes in there?
No, there were no summer classes. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think it was a clean 4.
All right, nice.
And favorite memory, boy, I feel like I made some lifelong friends. My closest friends, besides of course my built-in best friend, twin sister. Yeah, just and I met my husband there. Maybe that's my best memory.
Oh, is it? Okay. I was okay being lumped in with many close friends that you met in college.
Okay, yeah. That's true. I'm going to lump you in
that's okay.
in that category.
And I'm not the type of husband who needs like a call out when
I know.
It's like, what was the best moment of your life? I never feel like you need to say our wedding day or like that's just not the type of guy I am.
I know.
Yeah.
You don't need that affirmation.
No, I don't.
You don't care.
So you would say one of the best experiences of your undergraduate education, college experience, was just the friendships you made along the way.
I was not concerned about my grades, although I wanted to pass.
Sure.
But I was okay. Like I know I probably got a C.
Oh.
Or more than one C.
Did you?
I think so.
Wow.
Like it really not like after I met you,
Yeah.
I think is when it kind of really started to just like
You're like, whatever.
I think at least one class I can remember.
You had already achieved the goal you wanted to achieve in college by.
I guess so.
We were married in college, and so we got to do that whole fun married student housing, and we got to take a class as a married couple. We were some of those weirdos who would show up to class together and sit together.
People were weirded out by it. Do you remember that?
Oh,
People were weirded out. Like we sat at the same table.
And they're
and
like,
it was
you guys
weird
are
to
married.
people.
Yeah. It was a strange experience for a lot of people.
They were weirded out.
Yeah.
No, I remember that we both had a semester left of classes left, and then we did our semester of student teaching. So we had a full year left after
and
we got married.
So around other people, it was really just that one semester. But, okay, so that was
friend time.
Yes, friend time would be your highlight of your undergraduate degree.
Yes.
So now, Deb, you've just finished a graduate degree, getting your master's in.
My degree is Master of Science and Education in Reading.
Master of Science in Education in Reading.
In reading.
Okay.
All of my classes had to do with just what it means to, like, what is reading? What does it mean to teach reading? All of the components that go into
literacy.
Literacy, yeah. And, one of the classes I talked about, I learned about disciplinary literacy. So what does literacy look like in the disciplines dealing with secondary level? So in science, in social studies, in math.
Yeah.
So that was really interesting. And then, of course, the opposite class to that was elementary literacy in the elementary classroom. In multiple classes, I had to pick a student and do like a tutoring experience. I think 3 different times I had to do that. I had to talk to different people about how do they do literacy in their position. One of the classes took me from way up to the top of like your principal or administration, job shadowing them for a little bit of time and seeing how they do literacy and what their role is in in literacy. Intervention specialists for reading, just all the people that deal with students one-on-one, and then you do your general classroom teachers, all the way down to like a paraprofessional.
So it sounds like you had a large, like you actually had to have a lot of hands-on with this because, to be clear, you got your master's degree online, which I think most folks do now, and you got your master's from where?
Northwest Missouri State.
Northwest Missouri State.
Maryville, Missouri. I'm a bear cat.
Oh, okay. Would you consider yourself more a bear cat than a panther?
No, but I would consider myself more a Hawkeye than either of those.
Oh my gosh, Deb.
I know.
All right. Well, anyway.
No, I want to talk about it some more.
Yeah,
Are you going to ask me another question about it?
Yeah. So I was going to say,
Okay.
from when you think of your postgraduate experience, do you have a favorite memory from your postgraduate experience?
It was my action research project.
Oh, your action research project.
I don't know that that's like a treasured thing, but I'm really proud of myself for completing that because that was the biggest thing that I was like afraid of. Yeah, just you hear about when you get your master's degree, you have to write a thesis. And so this was all just centered around like, what is a question that I have? Like, hey, what if I did this?
Right.
What kind of impact would it have on literacy in my classroom? And so when I just focused on, okay, that's all that this is, then I was kind of excited about like, oh, I've always kind of wanted to try this.
So you then pick this question and you're basically doing research in like hands-on research in your classroom of like, okay, how do I'm addressing this hypothesis and then looking at the results. And then you had to do I know you had to do a lot of like number crunching or even just displaying the information. Like what were some of the things, I guess this is maybe confusing for me as a layman, but like what were some of the things you would track to see if things were improving or getting worse based on what you were doing?
Well, my question was to address the problem of phonemic awareness
which is?
Well, what goes into that umbrella is like phonics and like how well they're able to manipulate sounds and words.
Okay.
If you say like say the word trip.
Okay.
Now take off the T.
Okay. Rip.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I wouldn't say the T. I would say take off T.
Okay.
and they would have to say rip.
Okay.
And so are they able to do that in their head, which
Okay.
can be kind of difficult
Sure.
for third grade or even for us, like on the spot.
Right.
I assess at how they're doing in the beginning, and then I think, okay, this is a student, they're having these needs. This was my question, if I did a phonemic awareness like intervention with them using this specific intervention tool called UFly was the one that I used, would that affect their performance in phonemic awareness?
Okay.
Well, kind of obviously, yes. Like any work you do. But
to what degree?
Yeah, to what degree? And sorry to say, like it wasn't something that I had done in my classroom before because we have a reading interventionist.
Right.
I'm not a first grade, second grade, kindergarten teacher. So to do it at a third grade level actually is not real common. If a student needs that, at least not in our school, if a student needs that, they would go see our reading interventionist. But I'm really glad I've done that because our reading interventionist position got just dismissed. The teacher didn't, but it dissolved. That position is
doesn't
no
exist
longer
at
there.
the school anymore.
So now anybody that needs that kind of an intervention, it's up to me. So it was good practice.
Yeah, because that will come to you in the future.
And I look at their scores. Like there's a whole number of assessments that you can use, and that's another thing I learned is like what all these assessments are that you can use. I hadn't used them before, and I feel a lot more confident in using them and interpreting them. So during my action research, I decided I'm going to use these 3 assessments, and I'm going to do it at the beginning and then at the end. And in between, I'm doing this intervention, and I'm also doing progress monitoring for fluency. Like we're just going to keep practicing our fluency and just see how that affected it. Now, I will say the project had to be turned in before the window for assessment came open for one of the assessments that I was using. So I had to fudge a little bit.
You're like, okay,
this
is what it would have looked like if I could have done it.
Yes.
But I literally couldn't because it was due.
Yeah. Well, it was due the 19th, and I couldn't even assess until the 23rd or something.
Okay.
It wasn't open,
as you're writing your report, you're like, you wrote as if you had done it.
I had done it.
In theory.
Felt a little dishonest, and I wanted to confess.
Okay. We got her, folks. We got her. Bring in the cops. We've got her. She's no longer a master. All right. So for those of you who just kind of like blinking back into recognition that this is a podcast you're listening to, that was Literacy Talk.
Thank you for letting me.
Yeah, that's right. You teachers out there, that was for you. I hope you enjoyed. Anybody who's not really deep in the literacy world,
just say thank you for the teachers out there that are.
Oh yeah, and thank you to teachers, period.
That are helping.
That's right. Yeah.
So
if that's something you're like, wow, I don't know if I really want to get into that, you can thank Deb the next time he's here for thank you for understanding all of those things so that you can just teach literacy.
I'm very thankful for the experience. I feel a lot more confident and well informed.
Yeah. So I wanted to pivot to another college experience that you had during your your graduate.
Yeah, because life goes on.
That's right. So
can I say, can I give a timeline?
Sure, yeah.
So I saw a friend of mine at school, a coworker, finished this same degree in a year. And I thought, I kind of had been wanting to do it, and I thought, well, I can give up a year. I would like to do that. Plus, there's some benefits along with just getting your master's. So I decided at the beginning of June that I was just going to do it. And classes started at the end of June, and I finished in April.
And congratulations.
Thank you.
Deb,
I just want to remember that.
Well, not most importantly, but a important goal you had for yourself.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I had a few. I'll share both. One of them was that I was not going to bring any schoolwork home this year. Right. So any schoolwork, checking papers, tests, things like that, I was going to do it all at school so that my evenings were free to do whatever I needed to do for my degree. And I did that. And my goal was also to repeat what I did in high school, which was to get a 4.0, and I did that.
You did that too.
Yes, pat on the back.
That's right. So congratulations to Deb. Feel free to send her your congratulations, well wishes for getting her master's degree. I don't even remember what it was in, something literacy based.
Yep.
But anyway, Congratulations to Deb. So anyway, again, to pivot,
Okay.
something else collegiate related, kind of going with our college theme for this episode.
Yeah.
You watched a lot of college basketball this season.
did. Well, yeah,
Yes.
that was like my
Background.
treat. That was a treat.
Yeah, there were a number of times you would be working on your project or
Yeah.
working on something.
Paper.
Yeah, paper or something, and you would have a game on in the background. You watched probably the most, I would say, college basketball you've ever watched.
in my life, and it was all women's basketball.
Yeah, you watched. Yeah, I don't think. Did you watch any men's?
No,
Really?
wasn't
Not even
interested.
A little bit. Not even a little bit of the
Well,
tournament.
that's not true. During the like March Madness, I
You watched
did
a little
watch the men's Hawkeye basketball and
Iowa State.
ISU.
Yeah. Well, okay. So anyway, because you are now, after all the time of this last year, you are basically an expert in women's college basketball. I thought it would be good to see, even though you say you love women's college basketball, how much do you know about women's college basketball?
All right.
And I'm going to do that right now in a segment I'm calling Quiz Me, Baby. All right, so Deb, I got
Should be
you.
fun.
Yeah, exactly. I want to preface by saying this. I am not big into collegiate athletics or even pro athletics. I watch from time to time.
You enjoy it, but
I enjoy
you won't
it.
follow it.
Yeah, if it's ever on, I think I've
Yeah.
said this before. If it's on, I'll watch it. I enjoy watching it, but I don't ever seek it out. If it's on, I'll watch
No.
it. That's about it.
Right.
And so I probably watched the most women's college basketball
I
that
really
I've ever
tried to
watched.
get you guys to watch with me.
Yeah, I did a couple of games.
and a few times
Yeah,
you did.
I did.
Yep.
I did. Well, anyway, Deb, let's see if it all paid off. Because here's your quiz.
Oh boy.
So you watched a lot of Iowa Hawkeye basketball, as a lot of people did this year because of Caitlin Clark and her stellar season. And
the whole squad.
And the whole squad, yeah, the whole squad. In fact, right now you're even wearing a squad shirt. You've got a Clark, Martin, Davis, Stuelke, Marshall,
Feuerbach, and a
Folter.
Folter. Itiger,
and
and it says there's a typo.
So you've got a
And
type
I
on the
still
shirt
have not
you got.
talked to the company
Is it
about
supposed
this.
to be Maccabee?
No, McCabe.
Oh, McCabe.
And
Oh,
it says
this-
MoCabe.
MoCabe. They misspelled this T-shirt. Anyway,
Oh, well.
it's at the very bottom of the shirt.
I'm going to keep it.
Yeah, you keep it. All right. Well, anyway, because you watch so much Iowa basketball, I figured you would be an expert on the Big Ten teams.
Oh, no.
I know. Well, don't get too disappointed.
Oh, no.
But here, I'm going to make it
We'll
a little.
see.
Yeah, we'll see how well of an expert you are in the Big Ten teams. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to look at all of the women's basketball teams according to their record. We're going to start with the Big Ten team that had the best record, all the way down to the Big Ten team in women's basketball who had the worst record.
Big Ten.
Yes, and I want you to identify them in order of their record. But here's what's here's what's going to help you out.
Okay.
I'm going to give you the name of their mascot.
Okay, I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
But the thing is, the Big Ten is really changing.
Yes, it
so this
is.
is
Oh,
just based off of last season.
This
probably.
is just last
Okay.
season. Just
Yep.
this last season.
Okay.
Yeah, and so this is last season. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the name of the mascot. If I just give you the name of the mascot,
Okay.
I'm going to give you the record and then the name of the mascot, and then
Yeah.
you tell me which team it is. If you
Okay.
can get it by just its name, then you will get 2 points.
Okay.
If you need a little bit more information, like what type of, like not just the mascot's name, but like the type of thing the mascot is, then I'll just give you 1 point.
Okay.
Well, this will make sense
that
as we
might
go.
be
So
more clear
here's,
later.
I'm going to start off with a little hint, Deb.
Okay.
Here's your first hint. Remember that mascots like alliteration.
Okay.
And since we've been talking about literacy and alliteration,
Yeah.
alliteration is...
Oh, this repeating first grapheme.
Yeah, which is a grapheme is
Sound.
a sound. Yeah, so repeating.
Phoneme.
Oh, sorry, phoneme.
Sorry, I think I said it wrong.
Yeah, you said grapheme.
Grapheme is the letter itself,
Okay.
and the phoneme is the sound.
Okay, well, probably
So
both.
repeated first phoneme.
Okay.
Okay.
Starting with a 16-2 record,
Mm-hmm.
this college is the home of Brutus.
Oh my goodness.
I know, Deb. I went for it.
So like.
So some of our listeners have got this already. I'm just gonna say.
Oh, I know. I
All
know
right,
that.
Brutus, and remember what was my hint? Mascots like
Alliteration.
Alliteration.
So like Brutus the Bulldog or something
along
like
those
that?
lines, yeah.
Okay, I think I might need you to give me
All right.
another clue.
The full name of this mascot is Brutus Buckeye.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
It's Ohio?
Yeah. So at 16-2 was
Man.
Ohio State.
Okay.
All right, so you get 1 point for that because you did have to go to Brutus Buckeye.
Brutus
his
Buckeye.
Christian name, his full Christian name. All right,
Surname.
next,
Oh,
Deb.
man, that's sad.
All right.
I'm sad because I'm probably going to get a lot of these wrong.
Well, that's okay.
All right.
That's all right.
It's okay.
It's all right.
It does not take away from the fact that I really enjoyed the treat of women's basketball.
Oh yeah, like, and I don't know that you ever saw Brutus.
winter.
I don't know that you ever saw Brutus on the court. Well, you probably did.
Probably.
All right, next one at 15-3. This mascot's name is Herky.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's the Iowa Hawkeyes.
That is correct. That is Herky the Hawk for Iowa.
Yes, I knew
15-3.
Iowa was not number one.
No.
Okay.
All right, now here's a trickier one. Also at 15-3, they don't have an official mascot.
Oh.
But they are the Hoosiers.
Oh, that would be Indiana.
Indiana. That is correct, Deb. The Hoosiers of Indiana, also 15-3. All right, next, 12-6.
Mm-hmm.
Their mascot's name is Sparty.
Oh, is this Michigan State? Spartans? Sparty the Spartan? No.
I just want to see. I just want you to commit.
Oh man. I'm gonna guess Michigan State.
That is correct. Michigan State was
Okay.
Sparty the Spartan. You are correct.
Okay, good.
All right. Coming in at 11-7, their mascot's name is Herbie.
Herbie the Hurricane.
I'll give you a little side hint here, Deb.
Mm-hmm.
I believe they did deliver Iowa one of their losses this year.
Well, Nebraska. They lost to Nebraska.
Okay.
But that's not alliteration. Herbie the Cornhusker.
I mean,
Why are you looking at me that way?
No, it's fine.
Am I wrong? I'm going to guess Nebraska.
That is correct. That would be Herbie Husker
Oh, Herbie Husker.
from Nebraska.
Okay, got it.
All right, this one does not follow our alliteration rule.
Okay.
The Nittany Lion.
Oh, that's Penn State?
Yes, at 9-9. That's the Nittany Lion for Penn State.
Mm-hmm.
All right, another rule breaker here. Also at 9-9. They don't have an official mascot, but they're the Wolverines.
Michigan.
That is correct. That's Michigan. All right, Deb. Also at 9-9.
Okay.
Testudo.
Oh, Testudo the Titan
This one might be the most challenging one on the list.
because of its location.
Just because it's not. I don't think their mascot is often seen. There is a person dressed as Testudo.
I don't know. Is it Minnesota?
It is not, Deb. That is Testudo, the diamondback terrapin turtle from Maryland.
Oh.
I know. Yeah, strange, huh? All right, Deb. This team went 8-10.
Uh-huh.
They don't have an official mascot, but they are the Fighting Illini.
Oh, that's Illinois.
That is Illinois. All right, dropping down to 6-12. This team's mascot is Bucky.
Not the Buckeye. Because we just did
not,
that.
He's not Brutus Buckeye, no.
No.
Bucky.
Just Bucky.
Remember the clues.
Bucky the Badger. Is it Wisconsin?
That is correct. It's Wisconsin.
Yes.
Bucky Badger from Wisconsin. Dropping down to 5-13 on the season. We had Goldie as their mascot.
Goldie?
Mm-hmm.
Is there alliteration with this one?
There
Yeah?
is. Yeah.
There is?
Mm-hmm.
Goldie the Ghost.
Is that what you think?
No. I'm just going to say Rutgers.
That is incorrect.
Is it Minnesota?
It is.
Oh.
Goldie Gopher.
Oh, the Gopher.
Yeah, Goldie Gopher from Minnesota. No. All right. Also at 5-13, Pete was their mascot. I will say this one probably won't help you much if I tell you what their mascot is.
Okay, let's just see. What is their mascot?
The Boilermakers. Deb, I'm going to help you out here.
Is it from Pennsylvania? Is it in Pennsylvania?
Don't know if it is. I'm
Come
sorry.
on.
All right. Sorry. That's more my geography that I don't know. It's Purdue.
Oh.
Yeah.
I knew that.
Yeah, Purdue Pete, the
Purdue
Boilermakers. I know they kind of all jumble in your head. All right, we're dropping down to the last two, Deb.
Too long.
All right,
okay.
Deb, at 4 and 14, their mascot's name is Willie.
The Wildcat.
Yes, it is. Willie the Wildcat from...
Mobile.
No.
It is Willie the Wildcat?
No, it's Willie the Wildcat, but from where?
Oh, from Rutgers.
No.
What? We haven't said Rutgers yet.
We haven't.
Rutgers in the Big Ten?
Rutgers is in the Big Ten.
It is?
Yes.
Were they just not ranked or what?
They did very poorly.
Willie the Wildcat from...
Who are the Wildcats? Think of their logos. Does that help you?
What color are they?
Purple.
Purple? I don't know, Luke.
It is Northwestern.
Oh.
I know.
Yeah.
Willie the Wildcat, Northwestern Wildcats. All right.
Dang.
Lastly, at the very bottom of the Big
another
Ten.
one. There's more. Okay.
This is the last one.
Oh, I thought that was the last one.
This is the last one.
Okay.
Bottom of the Big Ten.
Okay.
At 2 and 16, Sir Henry.
Yeah, is this Rutgers?
This is Rutgers. Sir Henry the Scarlet Knight.
Scarlet Knight. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like it's when you grow up around it, and it would be like you not being able to name Star Wars characters or something like that.
I mean, to be fair, the Big Ten looks different every year and will continue to look different. So some of these you didn't grow up around, and I think you got a couple of them in there. Also,
there were many.
If I would have just given you Buckeyes, you would have been fine. You did not know who Brutus was, the person who you the named mascot.
I just to be accurate though, many of the ones that I missed, I have known and heard for many years. Oh, shoot. So,
well,
I'm okay. I'm not. Yeah, I'm all right.
Yeah, don't beat yourself up over it.
No, I'm not going to.
Okay. Well, Deb, we are going to. We've got a couple more things to do before we wrap up the podcast. First thing we need to do is we need to listen to a voicemail that we received.
Really?
Yeah,
how exciting.
Voicemail. How exciting.
That is.
All right, so Deb, let's take just a minute and let's listen to this voicemail.
Okay.
Hey, Luke and Deb, it's Holly in Sioux Falls. I'm just calling to encourage Deb with her master's degree. I know you were working hard on it this summer and still throughout the fall, and sounds like you've got a really good plan in place for finishing it quickly, which is awesome. And the thought of not having to worry so much about getting the credits and all of that every time that you have to renew is really nice. Also, I have a question on a recommendation from Luke, or Luke and Deb. You guys both might have opinions on this, but I want a recommendation for a family board game that maybe I can get for Christmas that would appease adult, teenage, and 4.5-year-olds. Remy can play games with us, but the games are more geared towards younger kids, and I'm wondering if you have a recommendation for something geared toward kind of everybody. He can't read, but if it's something where a person could read it to him or for him, that would certainly be fine. He likes things like Jenga and video games like Mario Kart and whatnot, but something maybe new that maybe we haven't run across that you think could be a crowd pleaser for just me and the kids. All right. Love the show. Glad you're back. It's been way too long. Okay, bye.
But that was before Christmas. Did you get in touch with her?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Here we are, Holly.
Yeah, sorry. We're holding true to the fact that we received this voicemail back, I think, in November.
Yeah.
Of 2023. And
boy, that seems like forever ago.
It does.
Thank you, Holly, for your encouragement.
And you can go ahead and apologize to your kids and your family for not providing anything for Christmas. I'm sure you were just sitting, waiting for...
I wonder how that turned out.
I'm sure it turned out fine. Let's just say Holly probably knows our schedule can be a bit sporadic. Yeah. Although this would be maybe the most sporadic we've ever been.
I think so.
But anyway, so yes, obviously, congratulations to Deb. Thank you for the encouragement,
Thank you, Holly.
I don't know if you remember, Deb, but last episode.
Yeah, we must have talked about
We
this
did.
before.
I put out a call and just said, hey, if you want to give Deb an encouragement.
Oh,
so
well,
Holly did.
thank you for following through on that,
with
Holly.
So, Deb,
I'm done,
do you have?
Holly.
Yeah, that's right. Do you have a recommendation for board game? If you don't, I do.
I know you do. You know what first came to my mind was Everdell.
Oh, really? Okay. So Everdale's
What do you think?
fun for family. It might be a little bit intense for somebody who can't read because you do have to do a lot of reading in that game.
That's true, but you also don't have to like hide your cards.
No, yes, it's public information. That's true. So you could read to
someone
it.
could very easily
if you
help
want
him.
yes, exactly. If you want something that's maybe a little bit on the challenging side, that would be something for adults. I really like Everdale, and you do. I
But
think,
also
too.
our kids really like
Oh yeah,
it.
and the kids love it too.
Yeah.
Mostly because it's got really cute pictures. I think we've talked about it
Uh-huh.
before. It's a little bit like I said. It would be something where Remy would probably just like looking at the pictures, things like that. So I was going to recommend a couple of games.
Okay, good. Yeah.
So the first thing I would recommend is you mentioned him liking Jenga,
Mm-hmm.
and so there's a dexterity game I was going to recommend called Ice Cool. Ice Cool.
Ice Cool.
Yeah, we've played it a couple times. So
Yep,
this is
that's a
one
good
where you have these little plastic penguins that you flick around a board, and once you flick them through certain doorways, you collect the fish. Once you collect all the fish, you kind of win. And there's a group of you who are running around trying to catch the fish by flicking
Yeah.
your little penguin. But there's another one who's playing the teacher who's trying to flick their piece into your little fish.
So there's opposition.
Right.
Yeah, that is a good one.
Mm-hmm. And that one has a high skill ceiling. So even though you could start very basic with like even a little guy just flicking it, you can get to the point where you can do things like jumping over walls, or you can flick them on sides to get them to turn around corners. Anyway, it's got a high skill ceiling. So
Yeah.
that would be a good one if you're looking for something that's a little bit on the dexterity side. Another one I was going to recommend that's kind of on the dexterity side is a little game called Dro Polar, which I just picked up.
I don't know that one.
You haven't played it yet. It's actually one that I've been wanting to pick up. And all it is you have some miscellaneous objects in your hand. Mm-hmm. You, as a group, you draw a card, and you have to drop just that one object from your hand. So let's say you've got 5, like a ring and a button and these 5 specific things in one hand. You then have to drop that one item that's on the card. Whoever drops that one item, or maybe it'll have 2 items on the card. Whoever drops those items first can grab the little token to win the round. When you win the round, you take a bell and put it in your hand. Mm-hmm. Then the next round, you get another things that you have to drop, and you have to drop them. But if you've won, any bell you drop, you lose these little bells. So you have to be able to manipulate the items in your hand, dropping only what the card says, not dropping any of the bells you've earned, or dropping anything else. Anyway, Dro Polar, DRO space POLLER, Dro Polar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds fun. I thought of another one while you were talking about
Oh, sorry, Dro Polter, POLTER. Sorry,
Dro Polter.
like poltergeist.
Okay. I thought of that one where you have to like draw tokens out of a bag.
Yeah.
And
Quacks of Quedlinburg.
Quacks of Quedlinburg.
Mm-hmm. Or
I
just
feel
look for
like-
quacks.
I feel like Remy would be able to do that to an extent.
Yeah, there would be a part of it where like you would need to talk him through like because what you do is you draw out tokens, and certain tokens help your potion get better, but certain tokens kind of will make
We should just play that with Holly sometime and see if she likes it.
See if you like that. That's a fun one, but it is a little that would be one.
That's one of my favorite.
You'd have to
favorites.
explain a little bit. So anyway, there's some recommendations. Thank you for the well wishes, Holly.
Thanks, Holly.
Yes, and thank you for calling in. If you too, listener, would like to call in, you can always call in by calling into our voicemail line at 61 air 0 volt VOLT, like Victor. Volt. All right, Deb, we are going to end with our precious moments. This again is a point in the show where we are going to just give something that's bringing us joy currently. So here is our segment,
Delightful.
Precious Moments.
I just recently listened to the whole book Little Women on audio, and that was precious.
Yeah, what was precious about it, Deb?
I love that movie and have loved it for a really long time. and I've never read it before, and I was challenged by a friend recently who just really couldn't believe that I have never read that book. And so I said, well, I'm going to do that because I love that movie. So I listened to it. It's a 19-hour book, so it took quite a while. I had to like renew the book. It's just wholesome, and it's just a really good, like, you really follow the characters for many, many, many years, and it's just a life tells their life story of it. It's sweet. Yeah.
So Deb, your precious moment is the book Little Women. That's good. My precious moment is Rainy Springs.
Oh yeah.
I have said before, I think I enjoy rain, rainstorms, all those things. And we in Iowa have gotten our fair share of rain this season. And I've just really enjoyed multiple days where it just kind of rains throughout the day. It's a nice dark day.
It's been great.
Yeah, and it's helped all the things to grow, different things. Anyway, we've had a long drought, and so I've always heard never curse the rain. And so, this rainy spring, I have really enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too.
That's my precious moment. All right. Well, thank you guys for listening. We hope you enjoyed Deb's college experiences and also Deb's knowledge of college basketball mascots in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
It's okay, Deb.
I'll work on it.
Yeah, work on it. Do a little flashcard quiz. Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us.
Thanks, Luke.
Yes, and have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.